Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Oh, I did not. 1 second. I forgot to put a delay on the chat and I don't know how to do it now, but oh well. Hello, everyone. I'm going to be on for a little bit now and then I'm going to hop back on at 5:25 because Gavin has an appointment. Hello, hello. Okay, let's see here. Let me scroll back up. Will my stuff work out like I need? It feels like there needs to be a different solution other than what you're already doing. Right now, it looks like it's not necessarily heading in the way where you're going to get everything that you need out of it. Is it possible to fix it? Yes, but it's a solution that you haven't found yet. So it could be like needing to add in an additional solution or change up what you're already doing. Let me fix this 1 second. Okay. My daughter Sarah wants to know if her being in school is the right career path. Yes, but there's like a major hurdle to overcome. It almost feels like certain things are triggering her, like pointing to something that needs to be healed for her to feel at ease. It's almost like I'm subconsciously avoiding this one topic because it kind of triggers an emotional reaction in me. It feels like she's avoidant of one thing, and that's what is making her maybe question it. So needing to kind of get to the root of whatever needs to be healed will kind of be the way to feel confident in being in the right spot, if that makes sense. My surgery is Wednesday morning. Will my ex Greg contact me on my birthday? It doesn't look like it. It looks like he's going through a tower moment. I didn't know if the tower moment was a tower upon reaching out to you, but then I clarified. It looks like he's going through something, so he may just not even realize it. Or if he does reach out, which feels less likely, it's not going to be what you want it to be, if that makes sense. And it's because he's going through something right now. Star in reverse. It's like he lost his way in something. Is my mother-in-law going to be okay? She needs to let people help her. It feels like you see that she's not doing that great, but she's doing worse than what she's showing because she's not allowing people to support her. She needs to get some kind of support. Can she be okay? Yes, but she's taking it as rough as you believe her to be taking it. She's got to like let someone support her to start feeling okay. Found out I have a half brother. Should I pursue a relationship? You're both very independent. It's gonna be awkward. I think the word I want to say is awkward. It's gonna feel awkward emotionally. One of you is gonna kind of need to take control of the situation. I have the knight and the king, both of swords here. So like it's almost gonna feel like one is directing the conversation and like pulling the conversation along at first. It'll be an uphill climb, but it does look like the two of you will get along well after the initial awkwardness, I almost want to say. God Whispered Your Name by Keith Urban. Okay, so yeah, I feel like that was, I kept hearing second song, second song. It feels like that's pointing in a direction of, yes, you should, but it's going to be awkward at first. You're going to have to work through the awkwardness. What is my spiritual gift? Hierophant. Like this inner knowing that you confirm externally. So like using cards, divination, something like that. It's something to confirm the inner knowing. After you align with the inner knowing, then you can connect to other gifts because they're all kind of intertwined, right? But it's like you first need to connect to the inner knowing by confirming what you innerly know with some kind of outside divination. So after you do that, it kind of branches out, but it feels like inner knowing is what your soul chose to kind of go with first. So that can be channeling, that can be mediumship. It's just kind of your brain connecting to the cosmic supercomputer, but it's almost like you need to prove it to yourself first, which is why divination is kind of involved. Am I on the right life path right now? Yes, definitely. But there's some evolving still needed. So you're on the right, you're facing the right direction, but there's still like a growth spurt that needs to happen. Like with consciousness wise, but you're going in the right direction, yes. I'd love to know if my fiance who passed away has a message for me, my 7-year-old son. He is sorry for never getting to teach him all the stuff that he wanted to teach him. There's a feeling of a massive transformation that your son just had, and he's saying, I saw it all and I'm so proud of you. Like I almost want to say like I see my genes in you, because he wasn't there to teach him all the stuff, but at the same time your son innately evolved in the way that he feels like he would have evolved if he would have been there to guide him. So like it's almost like he it is almost like a clone of him, like that they made all the same decisions in this transformation that he just had. um I almost want to say it's like a heart chakra transformation, like opening is what he's kind of pointing towards. There's also something about dreams here, like he's visited him in dreams, or he's like felt his presence after dreams. Hold on, I keep hearing to a song. So the song for your son is Fix You by Coldplay. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. So basically, he's saying that, like, the way that he wasn't able to teach him certain things, he's able to kind of be there in presence, and instead of like teaching him, he's like, you innately are connected to me, so you're making a lot of the similar decisions. But he's going to be there almost like as like a ping pong to like give him like gut feelings and like intuitive hits, like, nope, not that way, yes, that way. Like, it's almost like he's showing me like a ping pong game. Like, I'm going to help to like ping pong you, like you'll get gut feelings and stuff from me to help direct you since I'm here. And then there's a song for you. Oh, You're Beautiful by James Blunt. Time is a precious gift here on earth, and I'm happy for all the moments we shared, and I'm in my own personal paradise. So he's okay, and he's doing all he can to be there to ping pong in the right direction. Let me change the playlist really quick. Will my daughter and I reconcile our relationship? The two of you need to be able to get on the same page to do that. And right now, she's not on the same page with herself. So that's the first step, is her kind of healing from whatever it is that she's going through right now. It feels like she's very energetically depleted, which isn't giving her the energy to notice that she's at odds with herself, which would mean that any relationship is going to be a reflection of that being at odds. Is there potential to eventually reconcile? Yes, but she needs to kind of face what it is that she's avoiding healing from to be open to see the situation like in the right perspective. So it's possible, but it's going to take time. Will my oldest son's luck change for the better? It feels like there's a lot of imbalanced energies with like avoiding emotions and kind of being in a bit of survival mode and but stuck. So it's like a lot of anxiety. Um, it feels like he needs to stop and decide what needs to be changed, decide where he wants to head, and kind of make a different plan for himself so that things can turn around. He's very in his head, very anxious, very avoidant of like letting his emotions show him where healing needs to be. So his luck can turn around, but he needs to come up with a plan of action of like where he's trying to head and what he's trying to do or change, if that makes sense. Will I ever get over PTSD? Get over, I feel like it will always be a part of, it's not going to just completely disappear, right? But it does feel like it gets to a point where you have the control over it instead of it having the control over you, or instead of you fearing like it's about to have the control over you. Almost like right now, you're always just like on the waiting for it to erupt. It's not going to be like that forever. You're not going to constantly be waiting to feel at the worst of it. You will still have moments, but it's going to be manageable eventually. Does Jack visit and watch over me? Does he have a message? He's trying to like point you in a divinely guided action. Like, how do I explain this? He's trying to like poke you to move forward in some area where there's not necessary action, but taking action will help kind of pull you forward in other areas. It's, I don't know, it's like almost like an Easter egg type of video game for some reason is the reference I'm getting. Like he's trying to point you in the direction of an Easter egg where like a secret level of life almost is what it feels like. Video games feel significant. It's like there's some kind of additional option that you could have, and he's trying to alert you. Oh, you heard my voice and whispers calling your name. Although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. The puzzle pieces. He's trying to help you connect the dots on something. Ready, Set, Don't Go by Billy Ray Cyrus and Miley Cyrus is the song. Yeah, trying to push you like you're ready for something that you're not experiencing yet. Did I make the right decision? January 12th. Did you make the right decision? You closed out a major cycle, yes. It looks like you went back and forth a lot with this decision, but you made the right decision. You used some specific lessons from the past in ways you didn't anticipate using them to come to the conclusion of what to do here. You might not realize that you did that, but there's a certain experience in the past that prepared you to make this decision. So if you look at it in reverse, you'll see I must have made the right decision because I already had an experience in the past that prepared me to make this exact decision, if that makes sense. So yes. Does my ex watch over me? Does he love me? Yes, big time. There's something that he is sorry for. I almost want to say, like, I'm sorry for not showing you more how much I cared. I'm sorry for not opening up more. The lovers came out as I said that. Yeah, there's something about like he held back more than he wishes he would have held back. He doesn't want that to make you ever feel like that's a reflection of your value. Like he felt much more than he was able to show, I guess I'd say. I have a new understanding and I am standing right next to you. So does he watch over you? Big yes. Big yes. Trying to go back and forth between these to make sure I don't miss. Get You to the Moon by Kina is the song. Will my daughter and I be okay if she moves in with my mom? Will she move in with your mom? Will you be okay? Yes, but there's going to be some kind of imbalance. I don't know if it's like difference in communication style or difference in like amount of communication. I don't really know if it doesn't. It feels like there's a last minute switch or something. Like either she's about to move in and then something changes, or it looks like she's not going to and then she does. It feels almost like it looks like she's going to and then something changes. No, backwards. It doesn't look like she's going to, and then last minute it happens, is what it looks like. And yes, be okay, but a difference in communication. Something changes in communication. Am I correct at identifying the cord I need to cut for my spiritual well-being? Yes, but it also feels like there's like one more. Yeah. Feels like someone from your past where there was a lack of closure, so you're not recognizing that there's still a cord there, because it's almost like the lack of closure made you feel like there was no cord, or made you kind of push this to the side in some way to not like recognize that it was still kind of attached. So yes, but there's also one more cord. Will my partner's health condition get worse? Will my partner's health condition? It feels like cycles, right? So it feels like you're going to learn something that makes it better, but then there's also going to be a cycle. It feels like it's going to kind of cycle around. It feels like it eventually gets better. I don't know if I would say better. It eventually gets to some degree of manageable or more manageable, but it feels like there's still cycles that you're going to have to deal with it, unfortunately. Will I get out of the financial mess I am in? It does feel like this is attached to some kind of money wound around self-concept, self-worth. It also feels like there's a mindset of like whoever, those who raised you, kind of affecting your money mindset in some way. It's needing to break out of some kind of cycle here. Will it eventually get better? Yes, but it's going to be some time. And there's something that needs to shift in terms of either planning or money management. Like there's action needed in order for it to start to improve, like action above and beyond whatever it is that you're doing already. Does my dad or grandmother come to visit me? That's both of them. Look, because that's an angel, and then that's like a fire perspective. So yes, what is their message for you? Oh, you, the daughter, the kid. Stop fighting with your intuition. Trust yourself. There's some kind of new beginning coming for you, but you need to be able to be aligned with your intuition. When you speak to me out loud, in your thoughts, I hear you, and we will be together again. So they're together. It's almost like they're trying to confirm one another's messages to you. Like when you're thinking of one of them, it feels like it's connecting to a message from the other one, if that makes sense. Or maybe like you're using music to communicate with them or something like that. They're trying to like ramp up one another's messages to get you to go towards this new beginning, if that makes sense. But yes, they're with you. Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye. That's the song. Will my son choose to reconcile with his family? It's not looking that promising right now. It feels like right now there's a very independent pulling back, need to heal or need to. There's something that he's doing that's going against himself that he needs to get sick of it. Like he needs to um, or it could be someone else that needs. It's either him experiencing that energy or him being in that energy where there's like a pattern interrupt needed before that would be possible. Like in the current energy, it looks very unlikely, but it is possible with a pattern interrupt, if that makes sense. But I can't tell if the pattern interrupt is him or someone else because it feels like he's in like a bubble, like very separate, kind of closed off right now, if that makes sense. Oh, you're welcome. I thought that was a question. Sorry, I put it up there. Let's see. What am I supposed to do with my life? What am I supposed to do? Taking some kind of drastic action. It's like almost like something's been calling to you and you've been kind of avoiding it because it feels outside of your comfort zone. There's also a conversation that needs to be had with another individual here to kind of free you up. Oh, to free you up. That's what came out when I said free you up. So turn the light on of getting unstuck. Some kind of important conversation that needs to be had with another individual. There's also action needed on, it feels like switching what you're putting your focus into for career. Something that requires more vulnerability and stepping outside of your comfort zone. But it feels like it's already been kind of calling to you in some way. Is my daughter upset at me? I don't know if I'd say upset. I would say avoidant of having to have a conversation that she doesn't feel like having, or like avoidant of talking because then she feels like it's going to lead to the conversation that she doesn't feel like having. It's more of like an avoidant type of energy. It feels like there's something that is like an underlying tension, but it doesn't look like something like I'm actively mad at. It's more of like I'd rather wait till this blows over more type thing. It does look like there's something else she's dealing with, and that may be kind of increasing the tension. But I wouldn't say upset at. Something at, but not upset at. More of like, I don't want to deal with this right now type energy. Not you, but whatever this is, like the underlying tension. I don't know where I am. Do my grandparents watch over me and my son? Yes, I almost feel like they wanted to kind of show themselves to him, but don't want to scare him or like feel like they're not sure if he's ready or like, I don't know, something like that. But it does feel like there's something specific recently that they've been very proud of him. It feels like a small win that's a big deal. I don't know what that means. Um, They're also saying that you question yourself often, like if you're doing a good job, and they're like, if you could only see it from a different perspective, you would know that you are. There's something that would help you question yourself less if you went back and there's a specific wound that's being avoided. It's almost like they're saying it's draining you to avoid it more than it would be to face it. Everything happens for a reason. Trust the divine plan, and the earth is our school. Heaven's Not Too Far by We Three. Is there a specific friend I need to speak with in regard to finding work? There is someone who could help you, but it's almost like it's the one that's a little bit not the best with words, I guess you'd say. The person you know who, how do I put this? Not that you get along with this person and someone that you're cool with, but at the same time, sometimes this person is a little bit rough with their words when it comes to, they like to look like the best one, if that makes sense. Like they like to look like they have it all together. And you may have seen this person be a little manipulative at times to try and be in that spot, like to be the one that looks at like up a little bit. So yes, it's that person. It feels like you may have actually considered talking to this person already, and you're like, I'm not sure, because the way that they are at times, if that makes sense. Is Reiki healing my life path, or should I branch out into different options? Reiki, your life path. Well, you're definitely meant to be doing energy healing work. Yes, but there's also something else that's meant to be incorporated here as well. Keeps coming back to like childhood, inner child. Yes, but there's also something else that you're meant to incorporate into it. Yeah, like your magic isn't all the way turned up with that. Like there's more to bring into it. So yes, but there's more. So yes, continue with it. But also, it's almost like as you continue with it, look and see what else could I bring in with this that would kind of go well, go hand in hand. Energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. Anunnaki light codes. Maybe light language? It's like another modality of healing that goes with that already, meant to be incorporated in with that in a unique way that's like you thought of it. Like nobody else really does it. It's like a you thing. You bringing in two things together. So yes, you'd have to learn that first in order to like bring in the other thing, if that makes sense. I'm gonna stay on for about 15, like 15, 20 more minutes. Hold on one second. I have to put the other playlist back on. Oh, I Can Only Imagine by Mercy Me. So the cover shows like a speedometer going up. Yeah, like turn up the speed, add in extra. Speeding up, something bringing in with Reiki to speed up the healing. Because like two things in one, if that makes sense. Should I stay or go? You've tried staying and you don't feel any better yet. It feels like you've tried all the options to be okay with staying, and you're just as confused as you were when you started. It feels like starting to get your T's crossed and I's dotted to go. Will the judge rule in his favor so his payments can continue? That's confusing. So yes, but there's also like a hiccup. I don't know if it's like I can't tell if it's gets denied, have to appeal, and then gets approved, or if it's gets approved and then there's a delay or like a gap or something. It's a yes, but it's like a yes, but there's still some kind of hurdle to overcome before you're not having to like deal with it anymore, as in like the argument back and forth with them. Should I switch careers? Big yes. Yes. Strength, King of Swords, Ace of Swords, and Queen of Pentacles, yes. Where you're at right now, there's some kind of lid on your potential, Emperor in reverse. So to get what you are worthy of achieving, it looks like a switch is better. Is my father proud of me and the life I made? The only thing he's upset about is that he wasn't there to see it in person. You stayed dedicated even when you were drained. Even when you didn't have anything left in you, you stayed dedicated. I have Fight Song by Rachel Platten. He watched you time and time again get the self-love ripped from you and then have to regrow it. Ripped from you and then have to regrow it. So yes, very proud of you. You moved the mountain is what I'm hearing. You moved the mountain. I was met by so many loving people, and I watch over you every day, every hour, every minute, never feel like you are alone. Yeah, the only thing he doesn't like is that he wasn't there to see it, but that doesn't mean he's not still seeing it. He's watching from the balcony is what I'm hearing. I'm watching from the balcony. Oh, one more song. The Author by Livingston. Yeah, like you took control over it. You wrote your story. You didn't allow it to be written for you. Where are all my spiritual gifts? Needing to really dive in to the heart chakra. It's like our consciousness goes all the way down and then rises all the way back up, right? So right now it's like there's a traffic jam at the heart chakra. And in order to use the throat chakra, which is a choice that still needs to be worked through. It's like you have to get there to make that decision to use the throat chakra to kind of activate it. So right now it's getting through the traffic in the heart space so that you can rise up through the throat chakra. And then as that's used, you get back into the crown or the third eye and then the crown chakra where you really align with those gifts. It looks like right now there's needing to work out the traffic of the heart space, work through almost like pieces of yourself that are finding their way back to healing, working through that, and then allowing yourself to kind of use that throat chakra, speak, express, and transmute, and then you'll be back up. Is my husband going to be okay? Did I answer this one, or is it just the same answer? Something needs to change. Something needs to be done differently. There is opportunity for healing and a fresh start here, but there's a need to action some kind of imbalance in order to get back to being okay. Are my daughter and father together in the afterlife? I want to say it's him that was waiting for her. There's this feeling of like one of their souls was preparing for the other. They knew that the other was going to be meeting them. There's a feeling of you recently made some kind of change to address what was keeping you stuck. Like it's like you're opening up your heart again, and they see that and they're proud of that. There's also a feeling of needing to let yourself further forgive yourself. It feels like you go back a lot and think of all the things that you would have or should have or could have done differently. And it's almost like they're saying from their two different perspectives joined, they still are not finding any fault in what you're trying to find fault in. Like everything unfolded as it was meant to. Don't go back and get stuck in the past. Yeah, letting yourself heal. Letting yourself be happy. Don't feel guilty for letting yourself be happy. Now I have no pain, and I have gone through my life review, and there are so many lessons to be learned. So it feels like they're kind of showing you the way as they understand it. Like they're like kind of watching things unfold and trying to push you back to accepting happiness for yourself again. Oh, I'll Follow by Fancy Cars. Yeah, that's the confirmation of them being together. I'll follow. One was I'm telling you, one was waiting for the other. I feel like he was waiting for her. But yes, they're together. Is my new health issues from C? They're connected. Yeah, unfortunately, they look to be connected. If you're asking if you have it now, it feels like the issues you're talking about are from having it in the past and getting past it already. So yes, they're connected. Will my nephew's mental health ever improve? He has to be willing to address his emotions. It's like an avoidance of self. There's room for approval, but it feels almost like he's going to have to dive into what he's been avoiding in a way that almost feels like it's making it worse before it gets better. But it's kind of just because there's been a lot of avoidance of certain things, like underlying emotional hurdles. Is it possible? Yes, but there's a need to address things head on that are going to at first make it feel like it's maybe spinning a little out of control, but it's likely that he's going to need to find outside support for the facing of those wounds, if that makes sense. Am I supposed to be using my tarot cards? I feel like there needs to be a change in the way that you're using them. Not that you should not use them, not that you should use them, just it feels almost like needing to trust in your intuition more and confirm that with the cards rather than getting the answer solely from the cards. And then it can switch and you can go back to doing it whatever way you want. But it feels like in order to feel God's Plan by Drake, in order to feel like connected and truly like in tune, it feels like there needs to be a rebalancing of what you're getting from your intuition and confirming with the cards, if that makes sense. So kind of sitting in meditation, sitting there, letting the answers come to you, and then confirming that with the cards until you get rebalanced in terms of, I almost want to say boundaries with the cards, or like boundaries with your understanding of certain messages. I don't know if boundaries is the right word. I think you know what I mean, though. But kind of just doing it almost backwards for a little bit. Intuition confirmed by cards. Will I have any children? I'm not seeing anytime soon it happening. That's not to say it can't happen. It feels like there's certain barriers that are still in the way before that can happen. It can happen, but it's like needing to kind of, it almost feels like the barriers are with the eventual or current partner. Maybe it's them wanting it, or maybe it's like a health thing. It doesn't feel like it's with you though. So it is possible, but there's some like aligning need at first. Is my late sister sending me little messages, or am I just being silly? She says, how else do you want me to communicate with you? How else do you want me to communicate? She's like trying to get you to learn how she's trying to like use a certain code for you. Almost like a building up of a Morse code. There's something specific that she's coming through for a lot to try and, I'm just going to say, plant a seed of a lesson. So like you kind of getting a message from her and then experiencing something like a few days or weeks down the line that correlates to the message from her so that you start to believe the messages from her. It's like she's setting up that so that you can start to see that it's not just in your head and that it's actually correlating to like the 3D. Happiness lies within the memories we created. Never forget. I know you feel so much hurt and pain, but I promise it's going to get better. Look, it's like the backwards. It's like the storm and then the rainbow. So yeah, it's like there's a lesson of like how to get out of the storm and into the rainbow, but it's she kind of wants to be a part of it, like show you, look, this is what I was pointing at, and now not only do you get the rainbow, but you also get the realization of our connection, if that makes sense. Oh, Come Back for You by Elephant. Huh? She said, I said what I said. Am I doing all I can to ease Buddy's stress? Yeah, 10 of Swords in reverse, 10 of Pentacles upright. It feels like the only thing that could be done differently is how much stress you're taking on. Almost like it's weighing on you energetically as well. But it looks as though, and if anything as well, maybe like a little bit more space. I don't know how that translates. Almost like Buddy could feel your stress, and sometimes that increases stress or worry. But other than that, it looks like yes, all you can. And I know that's don't be in your head about that though. Don't be like I can't be stressed to be around Buddy. That's not the case. Can I tell you about like warmth? I don't really know what that means. Like warmth, however warmth translates, increased warmth. Let's see. We're gonna do about 3 or 4 more, but then I'm gonna hop back on when Gavin goes to an appointment a little later. Will my oldest son change for the better? Yes, upon kind of getting the right people around him, the right support system. Not that you're not. It feels more like friendships and that kind of stuff. Um, it feels like there's someone that it would help him to not be around. And then there's like people that need to come in to kind of be an additional support that he doesn't have now. So, yes, but still more action needed first. Let me see. Will my siblings and I reconcile? Is my brother sober? Reconcile, yes, after someone puts their walls down. Whoever it is that's blocking communication, it's like that person needs to be open to communication, but then that person's not going to reach out. Someone needs to reach out to that person, but it needs to be after that person's open to communication, which feels like something in their life needs to kind of ease up in another area of life. Addiction. I don't know what to call it. I guess you'd call it that. It feels like it comes in waves. It feels like the addiction is kind of going in waves with the mental health. I don't know if I'd call it like a full blown addiction, but there's something that is veering on the edge of being there if it's not addressed. Should I pursue another job opportunity or stay where I'm at and make the best of it? Pursue something else. I'm getting the image of like when they put someone on like a treadmill and then there's something in front of them and they're running and running and just can't get it. Like it feels like that. It's like no matter how much effort you put in, it's like they're holding what you should be able to get from you in terms of responsibility or money, something like that. It's like you're holding yourself back, but working as hard as you possibly can for it. So it looks like your time would better be spent somewhere where there's not that much of a lid on what you can achieve or attain. Um, Trying to see which ones I missed up here. Is my mom in my dreams because my dad is close to death? Not as close as you think, but there is a message that she's trying to give you to help you prepare for when the time does come. Almost like trying to alert you to heal something that is going to be triggered when he does pass by bringing it to your attention and like messages. It doesn't look like this is about to happen, but it looks like she's trying to be like, hey, we got to prepare. I'll follow you by Shine Down. Yeah, because he'd be following. Yeah, it feels like she's trying to prepare, not like in an emergency way, but in like a, if we start now addressing this, then it won't hit you as hard wound wise when he does pass. I'm surrounded by loving animals. Candles will flicker when I'm around. It almost feels like how I always say the playlist. Make a playlist with like 50 to 100 songs that are kind of feeling like it'd be her conversating with you and allow her to kind of pinpoint what it is that she's pointing to that needs to be healed, if that makes sense. Will I have a job soon? Oh, I have to get off. I keep forgetting. Okay, I'm going to do this one and one more, and then I'm going to hop off for a little bit. It feels like you need to apply for something different than what you've been applying for. Almost like you're being protected from a job that's below you because you're about to realize something about yourself that would allow you to step into roles that are really meant for you. It feels like it's going to take a little longer than what you would like, but you're going to get there. But I would say kind of step out of the box on what you're applying for. Yeah, the Hermit in reverse. Step out of the box a little bit in what you're applying for. Oh, I did that one. Will I have any issues from my surgery? I actually did a reading on that and it looks like I will be fine. Yeah, I looked into that. I'm just going to be antsy. I did get that. So I don't know. I signed up for a couple courses though, just to like learn some stuff while I'm out. Some remote viewing courses. So I'll come back being able to remote view better. All right, I'm going to close my eyes and pick one more. Do I have spiritual gifts? I keep hearing I answered this. Did I answer this one? It's needing to be back in balance to really access, but it's like a clear channeling, like a clear knowing, a clear. It's almost like you're able to understand the coding and translate it instantly, if that makes sense. So kind of really tapping in with getting your conscious mind and thoughts out of the way so that the channel can kind of just flow. Okay, last one. Is my dad or grandma? Wait, I think I did this one too. Yeah, I did do that one. I don't know why this keeps going back up. Am I spiritually gifted? Me be. Am I spiritually gifted? So yes, but what needs to happen first is a heart chakra opening. It's almost like needing to be in a state where you can feel the parts that are currently numbed, because it's like that's where your power lies in certain, I almost want to say like traumatic experiences or harder experiences where you felt like you weren't in your power. There's certain parts that are still kind of numbed. So unnumbing so you can be in a state of feeling, allowing yourself to be vulnerable with yourself. So exploring the thoughts and the feelings that usually you would kind of avoid. It's kind of just getting deeper into yourself and then allowing it to flow. Focusing on the heart chakra opening and balancing will align. It's almost like you do that and you focus on the heart chakra and you start to pick up on exactly what gifts are coming through the strongest for you. All right, everyone, I'm going to hop off. I will be back on in about 2 hours. I think I put 5:25. Yeah, thank you for coming and I will see you soon.